Hey guys, it's your favorite gold miner, prospector, and geologist, Jeff Williams. And today I got you back out here in the desert, except this time we're gonna go metal detecting at some of these old abandoned gold mines. And I'm gonna show you what you should be looking for if you wanna try to find some of that lode gold too. And in the process, we're gonna look for some fluorite, some beautiful green fluorite, because that's really prevalent out here. So let's get into it. Ooh, look at this monker right here. What's happened is all the timber around this entire shaft has rotted away and collapsed down inside. And then of course all the surrounding waste rock, which is piled up around the collar, falls into it too. These are horrible to find while you're out driving around and you don't know they're there, because guess what? These things suck up everything. These are the black holes of the desert. All right, time to do an official rock test here. This is strictly academical. Ooh, I didn't expect that. Last week it was 85 and now it's 50 with a chance of rain and possibly snow. That's craziness. What the heck is going on with the weather? You can see where the compressor sat. You got huge generator because they had power out here. You can see the little electrical outlets here. Small electric motor here. And of course, this is the footprint of the hoisting works. They have this classic shape to them, and this is directly in line with the shaft that I just showed you. This is some substantial workings here, because you don't put all this infrastructure in without a deep hole, huh? Come here, take a look at this. I want to show you something. Oh yeah, take a look at that. Oh, that's not bad. That's only what, maybe 50 feet if that. Then it kind of levels off. Not bad, you could rappel down that. But the reason why I'm showing you this is because I wanted you to see why it's here. That's so much more important, because once you understand the why, then you'll understand where to sample. And you can see that I've got this beautiful footwall right here. You see that? And this is why they drove this raise up underneath the hoisting works. It's because when they were down below, they ran into this thing and it was highly mineralized. It was enough for them to drive a raise up. And that's where you should be sampling. Do you see how this is all connected? And you can see the contact zone right there, and right in between is what they were chasing. Of course, I can't get over there without having gear on. But what I can do is I can get over there and see if it pops out anywhere. And if it does, I'll sample it, because you don't go to that much work if it doesn't have anything in it. Now look at this beautiful outcrop of quartz. You see that? And of course, here's that gray andesite that it's inside of. And look what I see. See, it goes right up the hill, and that is a big rhyolitic dike that's been silicified, and that's why they punched into it. And that's what you should be looking for, is any of these intrusive dikes out here that have been silicified. But the first step, like I always say, is your research. Do your research first, then come out here, because if these are barren, you're wasting your time. Here's a good example right here. You see this? This is part of that vein system that they were chasing on the other side. And this right up here is where sampling. And you can see where it kind of pinches off down here. So what I'll do is I'll grab some samples right along in here where you see all this quartz in there, and of course over here to the other side of the alteration zone. And then we'll take that back and crush it up, see if there's any values in it. If there is values in it, we can come back here and we can put a claim on this. And that's what you should be doing too, is you come out and you sample these areas and make sure that the areas that you're sampling are open for mineral entry. That's so important, because if they're not, then you're just wasting your time. Now, I'm not hearing anything of particular interest in this particular little fissure here, but I'll still pull samples because it might have ultrafine gold in it. And that's where I need to do assays and find out what the ounce per ton or the grade is, because that will tell me whether it's worth staking a claim on. And remember, if you're working with low gold, it has to be at least 1 ounce per ton or higher if you have to extract it out of the vein and mill it. Because if not, you're wasting your time if you're trying to make money off that mine. Now, if you're going to be looking for free mill lode gold in these old abandoned gold mines, I highly recommend using one of these old Gold Bug 2 VLF metal detectors. They have a high operational frequency on them. They operate at 70 kilohertz, which is extremely high for a VLF. The only thing higher would be a Falcon MD20. And what you're going to do is you're going to get the small 6-inch coil on the end of it. And that is going to help you pinpoint if there's any free mill specimen gold left in these old mines that the miners missed. Now, I already did a video on how to calibrate these things for that. And I'll leave a video, I don't know, somewhere around here, and you can watch it if you want to, if you don't know how to calibrate these things. The only thing that's tricky about them is it's got a manual ground balance on them. And if you're not familiar with how to do that, it's a little tricky at first. But once you get it down, it's a piece of cake. Yeah, I know. Enough jaw jacking, Jeff. Get up into those mines on the hill and find some gold. Oh, I hear it from here. Man, you guys are a tough crowd. And I believe that there is a shaft at the back. Oh, it's hot. It's really hot. Oh my gosh, look at the floor. Look at the floor. What? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Look at that. It's solid all the way back of cholla cactus. This must be one heck of a rat's nest back there. You gotta be kidding me. Look at that, it's solid. All the way back. And right through here, I've got this beautiful fluorite. And the neat thing about fluorite is that it's fluorescent under a black light. Now, if you're looking for any of these fluorescent minerals, I highly recommend you get one of these guys. It's a shortwave UV light, and it makes these guys show up. Now, why is it important to look for these? Because in the district that I'm at right now, fluorite is one of the gang materials that's associated with the gold. And of course, I've got manganese oxide traveling through here in calcite and quartz. But whenever you see a swell like this is always good. Now, I don't see anything worth chipping at to get at that's gold, but the fluorite looks cool. And I want to show you what it looks like under a black light. But you see how it turns a beautiful blue? That is fluorite. And it's a really pretty mineral. Now, I know it's not gold, but I'm gonna go ahead and chip out a sample anyway. And fluorite comes in different colors. You can see it in purples, blues, and greens, and sometimes you get all of those in one sample. And those are actually worth a lot of money because people will pay top dollar for that type of fluorite. So let me get a hammer drill in here and we'll get this out. Now, when you're working overhead like this, it's best to have a tarp down on the ground. Everything will fall on the tarp. You can pick it up, put it in a bucket, or just carry the tarp out. But in this case, I don't have a tarp. I got my 5-gallon bucket down below, so I'm just gonna work straight up and see what we can pull out. Look at that, got some really nice pieces in there. Some beautiful looking green in there. Look at that green. That's nice. I know. You're saying, Jeff, this has nothing to do with gold. Actually, it does. It's an indicator mineral. But when you find stuff like this, you got to pull it out. Come on now. I know. We'll get up on the hill and start looking for some gold. But if I see fluorite, I'm pulling it out. Just going to have to deal with it. See where the portal is for the adit? Somebody went to great lengths to seal this thing up. They literally blasted this whole section right above the portal to cover it up so people couldn't get into the adit. But if you look above, what do you see? Right up there, that's right, there's an open stope. So we're gonna go up there and take a look at it. All right, we came up here, but it looks like somebody sealed this up too by knocking this down, because it looks like it opened up underneath there. So for some reason, people really didn't want anybody in there. Now I really got to know what's in there. All right, I'm gonna poke around and see if I can find an alternate way in, because that means they're trying to hide something. And usually people don't do that in a gold producing district unless there's a lot of gold in that mine. All right, let's see if we can find a way in. But I'm not gonna do anything until you smash that like button. Smash it hard! Oh man. Oh, should have brought my knee pads. Oh, there's a crosscut right there, do you see it? And there's another one right there. Oh, you see it? Oh man, heavy sulfur smell. Yeah, they've been cross-cutting. Oh, it's getting hot. Oh, wow. Man, look at this. Look at this, they were serious. Oh, it's getting really hot. It's getting hot. Another cross-cut right there. See now, where they cross-cutted right there, they're getting outside of this intrusional dike that we're in right now. Oh man, they cut the heck out of this. Nice. All right, let's see what we got. Oh yeah, what do we got in there, huh? What do we got? Oh man, that sulfur is strong. What is that? Somebody left their lunch. Holy cow. Look at that. Look at that. It just keeps going and going. Man, they were cutting the heck out of this stuff, looking for any good mineralization. But it doesn't look good at all. This is all altered rhyolite. You can smell the sulfur in it. But I'm not seeing any kind of seams of mineralization in it. But they were obviously looking for it because they kept drifting along trying to get it. But no, this doesn't look right. Not a lot of mineralization, but the old timers thought they would find something. I'll take a peek down there. All right, so I've got this beautiful fault running through here, and you can see this diabase running at about a 65-degree angle. And what's cool about these diabase and basaltic dikes is that they can create mineralization zones on the outer chill margins. And you can see that right up and through here. You see that? Right through here. And the old timers knew that. So they would come in here and then they would chip away at the outer edges to see if there's any kind of mineralization worth mining out. Now, I don't think there's anything in here, but of course I'm going to check it anyway, and that's what you should be doing too. When you see an unusual type of fault system running through an adit or in the stopes, what you want to do is get your gold bug 2, and you're going to set it up to where you barely hear the threshold, and you're going to go right along the edges here. See that? Of course it's at the top. Come on! How am I supposed to get up there? Oh, watch out, these little headache makers. Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah, and see, oh. Now, I know that these things are sensitive to hot rocks and iron, I get that. But that looks really good, and it's right next to this big old diabase dike. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut him out, and then I'll sample the rest of it. And that's what you should be doing too if you plan on sampling these lode mines, is that you've got to look for where there's dikes and faults and shear zones. That's where your mineralization is going to be. That's where the gold is going to be. And it'll be obvious if the old timers knew what they were doing, which they were. You're going to see where they stoped it out. They didn't get everything, okay? So get in there and check the outer margins of the stopes. Check the chill zones around the outer perimeters of these dikes and around the fissures and the faults and around the folds. You got to check all this stuff, and you have to know what to look for. Yeah, I know, enough jaw jacking, Jeff. Get in there and get that material so we can see some gold. I want to see some gold too. See how brittle this outside margin is? It's because what has happened is the fissure here has created a perfect conduit for a lot of these hydrothermal fluids to get in and start altering the country rock. And in this case, it's rhyolite. But it makes it really super soft. And that's the downside to trying to get ore out of these mines, is a lot of it is going to be in these highly altered zones. And they're very, very fractured and very weak. They can't sustain their own weight. And you start getting in there and doing what I'm doing, it's going to want to collapse. So be very careful if you're going to do what I'm doing. Make sure you bring a hard hat, you bring a second person as a spotter, and you don't go after crazy stuff, okay? And you know what I mean by that. Come on, what does he mean by crazy stuff? You know exactly what I mean. Now I'll take the gold bug too and I'll run over the rest of this stuff, see if there's anything, I'll put it in the bucket, and then we'll move forward and see if there's anything else in here. And that's what you should be doing too, is you're just taking samples right now. This isn't production, you're just looking. And when you find some gold, you can go back and be more methodical about it. See how that works? It's really simple. All right, I know, enough jaw jacking. Come on, Jeff, get in there and get some more gold. I'm working on it. The adit has cut through into an intrusive dike of granite. You see this? And it's extremely brittle. It's decomposing. It's almost like saprolite. You see that? And this is very dangerous stuff to cut into as well, because it's literally falling apart because there's not a lot holding this stuff up. It's very soft. It's very crumbly and brittle, and it has a tendency to want to fall down because it can't support its own weight. And you can have mineralization in these zones right here. It has a large grain matrix to it, which is a no-brainer, but I'm just not seeing anything good. So we're going to advance forward and see what the old timers were chasing, because obviously they were going for something. All right, you see this contact zone right here? I've got this really nice shear zone going on here. We're back into the rhyolite again. And I always told you, look at the contact zones of different rock types. That's where your mineralization is going to be, and that's where your gold is most likely going to be, is in these contact zones. And the old timers saw that too. And look, they got this drift. This drift is actually following along this contact zone. It goes all the way back in there, and they're trying to see if there's any good minerals right here along the contact zone. You see that? That's where I would be checking. And I'll run my VLF on that real quick to see if there's anything in it. It could be iron. Could be iron, Bubba. Oh, I got some brecciated quartz right there.
You see that hole in
there?
Yeah.
Now I know that ain't gold. It's probably a piece of metal or a relic from the old timers. I'll dig it up anyway. Then I'll post at the end of the video what it is. All right, we're gonna go back in through this haulage adit, see where it leads, and pull more samples. And if I see any unusual mineralization, I'll put it on film. Then we're gonna take all this stuff back to the house, crush it down into -20 to -50 mesh. Then we're gonna pan it out, see if we got any color. And I got a big surprise for you at the end of the video. So you're gonna wanna see that. Oh, it's freezing out there. All right, I got all the material right here in the pan. I classified everything down, and I'm gonna go ahead and pan it in this Minelab pan because it's got the little tiny riffles. So if I have any ultra fine load gold, it's gonna be in there. And then I got this pan here to act as an extra catch for water. See how that works? Now, hopefully this works. I should just get a panning tub in here and call it a day, huh? All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh man, I can tell already I'm gonna be making a big mess. Yep, there comes the mess. Now I'm using the little tiny riffles. That way if there's any of that fine gold. And like I said, I got some signals in the very back. And so I chipped those out. All right, let me see what I got here. Let me get my glasses on. I got tons and tons of black. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's a big old meaty chunk. Look at this. Let me get it all scooped together for you. All right, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get it close enough. I got one really large piece right there. And then I got all these little itty bitty tiny fines in there. You see that? And that's not bad either. Now I know the GoPro sucks at showing this stuff, so I'm gonna put this on snapshots so you can see what it looks like. So let me go ahead and put some snapshots up of that. Now this illustrates my point. If you get yourself one of those Goldbug 2s with a 6.5-inch coil on it and possibly a Falcon MD20 to pair up with it, you guys can get out there and find specimen gold too. You just got to do your research, be diligent, get boots on the ground and check. And make sure you check land status, okay? Because you don't want to trespass, you don't want to claim junk. And remember I told you I had a big surprise for you at the very end? The big announcement's this. At the end of this month, we're giving away 10 bags of incredibly rich pay dirt from our drift mine. This stuff is world famous. I guarantee you've never seen bags of pay dirt this rich, and each one comes with a 1-ounce silver bar. But not only that, we're giving away a brand new Minelab Gold Monster 1000 metal detector as well. All of this is at the end of the month, so you still have time to sign up to get your hands on one. Now if you want to get your hands on any of this stuff, all you have to do is look for the little icon at the end of the video that looks something like that. Click on it, make a $10 pledge, and you instantly qualify to get your hands on any of this stuff. And I'll see you on the next video.